He forced us into a family photo with his secret child. Is my dad the a-hole for hiding his secret child? I never imagined one conversation would completely change the way I looked at my father. I'm 17 years old, and my older sister is 21. Growing up, our parents fought all the time. My dad cheated on my mom once when I was little, and then again years later. I honestly believed our family had already survived the worst of it. I was wrong. One day, my sister and I were hanging out when our dad walked into her room and said he needed to tell us something important. Then, he dropped a bombshell. He told us we had a little sister, not from our mom, a 3-year-old daughter he had with another woman. I just started crying. For 3 years, he had hidden an entire child from us. Then he told us not to tell our mom because he wanted to be the one to tell her himself. That same day happened to be our grandmother's birthday. Instead of giving us time to process what we just learned, he brought the little girl to the party and expected us to bond with her. My sister couldn't even look at her. Neither could I. Then he wanted family pictures. I tried pulling away because I didn't want to be in them. Instead, he grabbed my arm and forced me into the photo. The worst part wasn't the little girl. She did absolutely nothing wrong. It was watching my dad treat her with kindness and affection that my sister and I never got growing up. He called us names. He yelled at us. He hurt us. But with her, he acted like the perfect father. I couldn't even look at him anymore. I started wondering if I could even call him Dad. I felt guilty for not wanting a relationship with my little sister, but at the same time, it felt like accepting everything he had done to our mom. I asked people online if I was overreacting. Most people told me my feelings were completely valid. One commenter said I needed to tell my mom immediately. I admitted I wanted to, but I was scared. We still lived with our dad, and I didn't know what he might do if he found out we told her. Another commenter reminded me that I didn't owe anyone a relationship just because my father wanted one. Someone else pointed out that the little girl was innocent and didn't ask to be born into this situation. That really stuck with me. She wasn't the problem. My father was. Make sure you follow for more videos posted daily. Update: nearly 5 months later. Things somehow got even worse. I overheard my dad talking to his daughter on the phone. He mentioned that our cousins had given her toys and clothes. That's when I realized something. His entire side of the family already knew about her. Everyone knew. Except my mom. They had accepted this little girl into the family while my sister and I were completely in the dark. Then I overheard him talking to the child's mother. He was still in contact with his mistress through their daughter. My sister and I started asking our mom hypothetical questions about how she'd feel if Dad had another child. Her response surprised us. She calmly said if he had another child, it wasn't her business anymore. I apologized online because some people thought I was angry at the child. I wasn't. I just couldn't process suddenly having another sister. Unfortunately, some commenters started attacking me for not telling my mom sooner. They accused me of protecting my father. I explained that I was still a minor, under enormous pressure, and terrified of what would happen. One commenter told me 6 months was already too long to keep the secret. That comment stayed with me. Eventually, I couldn't take the guilt anymore. Update: 2 days later, my sister and I finally called our mom together. We told her everything. We cried while explaining how we'd been afraid to burden her because she already worked herself to exhaustion. She listened. Then she told us something that changed everything. She said she'd expected this for a long time. She wasn't angry with us. She said we weren't betraying her by waiting. Instead, she reminded us that our father's choices were his responsibility, not ours. Then she said something I'll never forget. She told us we were wasting our tears on a man who didn't care, and that we should focus on our future instead. She reminded us that his actions couldn't stop us from building better lives. For the first time in months, I felt lighter. My mom also told us something important. The little girl is still our sister, but whether we choose to have a relationship with her is completely our decision. Then she contacted an attorney. She began taking legal action. She wanted to protect the family property so that what she had worked for would go to my sister and me. She also made it clear that once everything was settled, we would likely cut ties with my father's side of the family. We even spent the next day together on a swimming trip. For the first time in a long time, things actually felt hopeful. One commenter later asked if we'd be able to live with our mom. I explained we were trying to find a new place together, but her demanding work schedule made moving difficult. Final update. 3.5 weeks later, life has changed dramatically. Our dad no longer lives with us. He's been texting my sister and me, asking for forgiveness and saying he shouldn't have done what he did. We've ignored every message. We also left every group chat with his side of the family and completely cut contact. Then even more truth came out. We discovered our dad had secretly brought his mistress and their child into our old apartment. His mistress even had a profile picture taken inside our home. We remembered finding a child's toy in my bedroom years ago and finally understood why. He lied to attorneys, claiming our mom abandoned us. He tried taking property that legally belonged to her. He sold one of the family vehicles, but none of that money went toward my sisters or my education. His mistress even contacted me directly, and those messages became evidence. Because of everything that surfaced, my mom hired a private investigator. She is now pursuing annulment, financial support, and legal action related to his affair. Today, I finally feel safe. I graduated from high school. I'm getting ready to start college. My sister and I are free from him. We're simply waiting for the court process to finish. Looking back, I realized something. Speaking up was terrifying. But once we finally told our mom the truth, everything started getting better. So tell me, am I the a-hole?